G'day, this is Captainoob, and this is a SilencerCo Maxim 9 pistol. This is a fictionally made pistol with custom sounds, deliver animations, which we've got to replace it for, and a whole lot of customization. Let's get into it. First of all, we've got the receivers. Right now, we've got the non-NFA receiver, but we can chuck on a standard receiver here, which gives us a sort of integrity-built suppressor look. Obviously, if you attach this, you'll have to put a barrel on, as indicated by the range here, which is currently at 17. This thing doesn't have a barrel when you put the standard receiver on, so if you do decide to chuck on the integrally suppressed standard barrel on, be sure to chuck on either the short or long barrel variants to get some range and accuracy back. But for now, we're going to be using the non-NFA, which is just a standard version, more conventional. It's got a little Picatinny rail on the bottom and a threaded barrel, so you can attach suppressors on this still without having to utilize the integrated suppressor system. And there's basically the same receivers as you see as a deliverer. So you've got the advanced receivers, calibrated, powerful receiver. They're your main three. It's either advanced receiver or calibrated powerful, because if you want to use this thing in VATS, your crits are going to hit that ever so slightly extra bit harder using the calibrated powerful. But we'll go for the advanced receiver. It gives us 141 damage, which is not too bad, and we'll move on. We'll just make sure that's NFA. Now, we can have a grip, a sharpshooter's grip, or a comfort grip, not necessarily in that order. This appears to be the exact same as what you get out of the deliverer, but as you can tell, it doesn't actually change the grip whatsoever. There's just some stat changes that you'll see going on under the bonnet here. Right now, I've got a standard magazine. You can have a 17-round magazine, a quick eject variant of those things, also a quick eject variant of the standard magazine, 19-round, or a 33 round with a quick eject variant of that. 33 rounds in this thing, you're going to be firing from Monday to Sunday, so yeah, we'll be taking that and we'll be moving on. Right now, I've got standard sights. You can have the glow sights on it, which add a tiny little bit of glowing. It's glowing black at the moment. Maybe we could change that a little bit, but that doesn't seem to be the most prudent choice for a glowing sight. You can also have the little reflex sight built right into the top of this, which I think is pretty nice. It's off the slide too, so you don't have to worry about this thing being rocked back and forth, at least by the action of the slides. That's nice. You could also have a recon scope on this, which puts an ugly vanilla toaster / microwave on the top of this thing, which doesn't really suit the sleekness of what this weapon is showing me now. But we'll go for a sight mark R-spec sight, which is kind of cool. Ooh, Volta. That's nice. That's actually Carla's last name. Weird. Anyways, right now, we've got no suppressors. We can have a suppressor or an advanced suppressor, which will reduce our range penalty a little bit, but also increase our weight a little bit as well. It's not very much. 4.5 pounds. Even a character on Survivor that is stricken by low strength can still wield this effectively, I think. Right now, you can change the reticule on this, which I believe you'll be able to see just by changing and tilting the weapon to the side, so you can go across and put a hexagon in there in red or green if you feel like it. I'm thinking a star. Does that look tacky? Because it might, you know. No, that's what they call that sight. Alright, well, I'm going to go for a green star then. Perfect. Right now, we've got an accessory material. You can change that to being Arctic White, Blaze Orange, Blue, which is generically named compared to Charcoal Black, Desert Camo, Desert Tan, Forest Camo, Green, Orange, Pink, Purple, Red, Tactical Black, Urban Camo, Winter Camo, and Yellow. There's also the ability to change the rest of the weapon like that, so you can mix and match between colors if you feel like it. I like Charcoal Black. Very nice. And we're going to change that reflex sight to that too. There we go. Now we're super stealthy pistol style here. Right now, you can chuck an accessory on the bottom as well with that Picatinny rail, like I said. A laser sight or a flashlight or a combination of both. Best of both worlds to get accuracy. Gun nut rank 3 and science rank 1 required for that one, so it's a pretty high up there thing. And you can change the color of the laser. Let's make it green. We'll make it match the reflex sight, I suppose. Now, you can change what this thing is chambered in. Right now, it is chambered in 38 special. You can go over to 10mm or 45 action Colt something. Yeah, that's a lot of damage. 45 autos, that's it, auto Colt. And I believe that is the extent of what this thing can do with its customization. I wonder if that sight or the laser sight there is going to get me spotted over a distance, but yeah, it's a pretty cool looking pistol. I can dig it. I'm going to make another couple of these and then we can go shoot stuff. On a chemistry workbench is simplicity itself. Find Maxim 9 listed on your workbench, and then for these materials and gun nut rank 2, you can craft them just like that. Perfect. You can change what the glowies look like. So right now I've got them set on green, so they don't have to be black. Be sure when you're customizing this to drop any other Maxim 9s in your inventory, and you can access mostly all of this. So we'll put a laser sight on that one too. Why not? I'm gonna make that one. Let's see, what kind of color here? Let's go cyan. That matches the paint job we got here, which is supposedly winter camo. Righto, so here we are outside of the immersive Gunners Plaza. Here is the Maxim 9 in first person in all of its glory, and it's got that star reflex holographic thing on the top, and you can tell this thing demonstrably has a suppressor. It's got that weird osprey thing, that kind of like the ones you'd see out of a 10mm pistol in the vanilla game. But here's a quirk. When I fire this thing, it sounds like this. Interesting, right? And when I switch over to my fully unsuppressed one, you can see the end of the barrel there is being covered by some sort of cool cover, because we're protecting the thread, a thread protector, if you will. When I fire this particular variant, it makes the exact same sound. Now, when I go over to the integrally suppressed barrel, that's what this thing looks like in third person, by the way. As you can probably hear, that the pew 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 is a lot more subdued. It's a lot more quiet, but here's where it gets interesting, because if I take a quick look at this particular weapon and its weapon card, as you can tell, we're getting 169 damage, whereas this particular version here gets 230, which leads me to believe that for some reason this integral barrel hasn't been given the suppressor keyword, which allows us to utilize Ace Operate to increase its damage output. So that's kind of interesting, and I'm guessing this one here does, and it doesn't have the correct sound changes or modifications to allow us to hear the suppressed sound when this thing fires, which is most weird. Anyways, those gunners have sort of packed out on the streets already, so what I'm hoping to do here is getting a cheap sneak critical or 70 and demonstrating what this thing power level is like before we get started. And was it so difficult to jump on this bloody trailer? There we go. Now, those gunners have definitely got, they're pissed off at something. I think they've found the ghoul up the road there, but if we can just get one easy hit. Yep, that's a 4.4 times multiplied sneak critical. If we go over to our integrally suppressed now, as we're starting to get a little bit of panic fire, 3.9. So there's been some keyword mess aroundery here, and that's all I'll say. And now that the bulk of the gunners are drawn over there fighting God knows what, I'm going to make a mad dash over here and hopefully get all of those, or most of those guys, out of my hair before they come around and overwhelm me with a billion NPC guns firing at me at the same time. So right now, the range on this thing doesn't appear to be too great, especially at this distance, so closing the gap. I just want to get... There we go. Looks like 91 is how far we can push this thing, at least in its unsuppressed form. This gunner, armed a little bit less so we can easily chop through his health bar pretty quick in comparison. Should mention that you can tell this thing is chambered in 45 rounds, because you'll notice that it has 31 rounds in the magazine, as opposed to the 33 as it would be standard. I feel like that the penalties you get for having the larger caliber rounds in your pistol are really not what they should be. Like, you've crammed a bunch of 45s into this thing, almost to the same as what you'd cram a 38 round in, which is interesting to say the least. It looks like some of these spares are immune to having bullets fired through them, but not all of them, unfortunately for you. Now, this thing, it's got a pretty low recoil setup, so the DPS here you can get to a pretty high rate, provided you can pull the trigger fast enough. Now, that we're on a PC, and you know what? We're just gonna open this can of worms up really quick here. Can of gunners, as it were. Yes, but using a clicky mouse button, you'll find that you can easily turn this thing into a Glock, especially if you've got one of those aftermarket software tools which allow you to press the mouse button really fast. But I find that unsavory. Although it would make my job a lot more easy now, wouldn't it? Could you imagine a fully automatic Glock like that? Fully automatic deliverer? I can, I've made one. Alright, so probably not a best idea to take on all those guys at once. Maybe I could strategically utilize Nerd Rage as I cop a Gauss rifle projectile to the face. That's fine. But you know what? We're hearing this thing unsuppressed, so I guess we'll bring out the unsuppressed version here. There's a turret there. Always forget about him. We haven't utilized this new Gunner's Plaza setup that much yet, so I don't go for the turrets first, which I probably should. I mean, not really. They're not moving. Let's add some criticals into the mix. Get this guy nice and finished. That guy's got a laser grand, by the way. You can tell by all the radium rifle, like, greebling all over the top of it. And like the deliverer of this thing, very, very efficient on VATS, and we don't even have the VATS enhanced. Whoops. Slow down there, Mr. Gunner. I'm supposed to activate slow time. There you go. Just gotta sort of pick them off one at a time. Now, right now, I'd probably be looking to grab some sort of recon scope variant of this pistol just to get a slightly better sight picture and not have to worry about the, I suppose you could call it visual recoil presented by the animations, but it's not too bad. I could always use third person, of course, which looks kind of funky. Firing at this fast in third person, the animations I don't think quite keep up. And we're almost ready for Nerd Rage now, so the ultimate is what's there. Never mind, I died. Okay, probably a little bit of a tall order to make the Maxim take on Immersive Gunner's Plaza like that. And I don't do no stim packs, so then if I do stim packs, then all the tension's gone. So here's what we're doing. We've changed it to the dead of night, and I'm going to be doing the James Bond. Look at me, I'm sneaking around with a suppressed pistol, and whoops, you're not in here. Well, you are, but there you are. Okay, I didn't actually expect him to be there. I thought he'd be aggroed to an extent, so he'd be showing up on that there compass, but wasn't going to happen, apparently. And yeah, getting the sneak criticals on this thing, as you can tell, makes it very strong. And we haven't been spotted yet. The secret James Bond, on this case, Jane Bond mission is going great. Wonder if they're going to actually cast a woman as in like a Bond film. That'll be interesting to see how it goes. Wonder if they'll make a dude director or a woman director, because I think typically women make better. Well, they don't. I'm not telling them to not make action movies, but they've got better directors doing different types of movies. Leave action movies to the blokes. We make Die Hard and stuff. Die Hard's a classic. Anyways, is there someone behind me? No. That's weird. I could have sworn I heard some firing from somewhere over there, but yeah, so far so good. Haven't been spotted yet, courtesy of the super silent pistol type, right? Lots of silhouettes going on here in Gunner's Plaza at the moment. Bit of fog going around. I don't hate it, to be honest. This low visibility makes it kind of cinematic, right? Just need that James Bond music. Anyways, looks like we're almost done here. And that appears to be the inside of Gunner's Plaza. So, you know, probably run your ops during the night at Immersive Gunner's Plaza if you've got that mod installed, just so you can hide and not get shot like by a billion dudes at once. Probably slightly more healthy for you. Okay, I think I'm gonna keep this stealth thing going, but I'm gonna grab the one that is suppressed in quotations. And I did a little bit of research. I looked up on Google female-directed action movies, and Wonder Woman from 2017 came up. Now, I watched that movie, and I thought it was pretty great. So, yeah, just get her to direct a Jane Bond movie, and then we'll be fine. Like, she didn't make that Wonder Woman movie that everybody hated, right? The one that came after that. I think that was someone else, right? I don't know. All I know about that movie is it's not that good. And also, we're getting... That's a tough sentry, but actually... I'll tell you something. Those Rust Devils, they didn't do a terrible job. And now we get to shoot a giant target as fast as we possibly can. Feel the power of the mouse button 1. And now we get to get beaten up by this guy. I'm going to VATS him in the face, and that should be enough. I'm going to throw all of my criticals at him. All of them. Actually, we might be able to just get away with, like, maybe 3. We'll try to get those 3 back with the rest of our shots. If we get lucky and get some sort of, 4-leaf clover proc, that'd be pretty grand. I feel like we're running out of shots. Yeah, I'll go for another critical here. Operation get back our criticals does not work out. Is that 7 damage on me? Hey, we almost got all of them back. Sweet. And get out of the way of the falling corpse. Oh, you got crushed underneath it. Now you got spinal injuries you'll have to live with for the rest of your life. And that's not good. Once your back goes, then your days as a wastelander are over. Straight into the Senate building with you to talk politics. It's a horrible life. Don't do it. Not so fun fact, I found out that Patty Jenkins, the director of that first Wonder Woman movie in 2017, also did that 1984 one. So, yeah, okay. So I'm just gonna Glock this here giant ghoul out of frustration. Okay, well that didn't work out very well, did it? We just get a nice stagger on you. You know what? I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna lure him into the great turret grid of Warwick Homestead. I'm gonna jump behind this trailer to make sure he doesn't get me. Okay, he's around. Surprise, gunners. I didn't mean to... Okay, you're real close, but I managed to actually... take 2. Never mind. Did they... I think they blew up all the turrets, or maybe they blew up the power source. No. Oh, I probably should have had them... I can push it?
Get out of my sight.
I feel like that's kind of redundant here. It's a perfect distraction, however. Someone's shooting at me with some sort of Gauss weaponry. Not really a problem anymore. Hitting him for 100 flat damage, which is pretty good. I don't know if he's gonna make his way down here. I'm gonna say that his ghoul pathfinding will make him attempt to try and get me, but there's no way he's fitting through that front door. So have some criticals, my friend. Oh, he's going straight through it. Just gonna shoot through all my turrets. It broke it anyway, so it doesn't super matter, does it? Okay, he's quit. Wait, what? There's a legendary gunner in there. How'd you slip in there? He also just fired a rocket at me, which missed and I think hit that large tanker or something. This has been an odd encounter, but he gets shot down as he tries to run away. And I think that is it for the Maxim 9 and also movie discussion. Maybe it's the writer's fault, not the director, right? Although she was on the writing team. I don't know where they went wrong with that movie. The first one was so good. How did they mess up that second one? Kill the whole franchise. Anyways, Maxim 9. Get it. It's a good pistol and a suitable weapon for endgame that isn't stupid like mine, where you've got giant monsters and like 10,000 gunners outside of the immersive Gunners Plaza. Would recommend this to everyone. It's pretty lightweight too, and its customization is good, nice, and yeah, get it. It's great. Thank you for watching.